Good day. It's so good to see you once again. I hope you've had a wonderful week since I saw you last Friday. For me, it has been quite a nice week. Business has been pleasant. I've had a few rendezvous with friends and have enjoyed myself quite nicely. Today we're going to continue talking about etiquette and manners, and a manner that may seem to go without saying, and yet here I am having to talk about it, is being polite. There is no greater value in society than to be in polite society. It seems these days that many have become rude in their dealings with others. Some are grumpy. Some say that, well, I'm an old man now, so I have the right to be a grouch. No. No one has a right to be a grouch. No one has the right to be rude. If we were more polite with each other, things would be much nicer in society. So what do you do when, as a gentleman, you're confronted with someone who is rather rude? Well, there's that old saying, fight fire with fire. But that does not apply in this case. If someone is rude to you, be polite back. You do not need to stoop to their level. All you will do by being rude back is reinforce their attitude and their rudeness. It's if someone is mad at you and they let go at you with well, whatever, and you turn around and give it back to them, they'll feel justified in their anger towards you. If they don't like you and you do the same, I'm justified in not liking that man. But if you are polite, you take away all reason. And if they complain to someone that, oh, that old so-and-so is such a nasty person, he's not a nice person, I spoke to him the other day and he was quite rude. Well, if you maintain politeness in all circumstances, those who know you will know that the other fellow is not telling the truth. So you see, you want to build a reputation of being a polite gentleman. That no matter what the circumstances, no matter how uncomfortable you may be, no matter how poorly you are being treated, you are always polite. Now, this not only applies to your peers, but to those of lesser class or even those of higher class. But certainly those of lesser class. If you're having a bad day, don't take it out on the waiter at the diner you go to, or the conductor at the train station, or whoever it is you're dealing with. The poor shopkeeper. You go in to buy a new pair of gloves, and he does not have your size in stock. Well, good for him. His business must be doing well. Congratulate him. Ask him when he will have more in stock, and if he can set a pair aside for you. But don't chastise the man for not having what you want when you want it. He's not there to cater to you specifically. He's there to cater to all who are looking for things. The waiter in the restaurant, and if they're clumsy and not doing a good job, well, then ask to politely speak with the manager. Not in front of everybody in the restaurant. Go aside and speak to the manager politely and say, the young waiter I have seems to be having an off day. Maybe you would have a word with him. He's being a bit clumsy. But don't chastise the man in the restaurant in front of all the other patrons. All you'll do is make yourself look a fool. You don't know what's going on in that young man's life, or perhaps on the odd occasion it might be a young lady, but you don't know what's happening in their lives, and yes, it might be awkward for you to sit there and have to deal with poor service or clumsiness, but don't be a fool about it. Be a gentleman. Be polite. If the cab driver passes you by when you've obviously, cabby, cabby, and they pass you by, well, there's no point yelling vindictives after the cab. First of all, he more than likely won't hear you, and second of all, he's more than certainly not, after being talked to in such a manner, going to turn around and come back to pick you up. So, yes, he may have passed you up. Wait for the next cab. You don't know why he passed you. Maybe he's on a call. Maybe he's been at work for 8 hours and is now heading back to the barn. Maybe his horse is not doing well and he's taking it back to the stable. Never assume that you are personally being snubbed just because your demands aren't met when you think they should be met. The world does not revolve around you, no matter how important you may be. If you should disappear from the face of the earth tomorrow, the number of people affected and who will notice are probably far smaller than you believe. So always be polite. Let the reputation you have amongst your peers, amongst your townfolk, and amongst the serving classes be one of a gentleman who is honest, always polite, and has a nice word to say to those he meets. That will take you far in life, no matter your age. Age is no excuse for ill manners. Age is no excuse for being rude. So whether you'll be young, middle-aged, or old, do not try and claim that you have a right because of. No. No one has a right to be rude or impolite to another person. And if someone treats you thus, respond, not in kind, but kindly. Well, I hope you will think about what I've said today and take it to heart. And I will see you next Friday. I do enjoy these times we have together. You are such pleasant company. It's such a shame there are so many years between our ages that our paths shall never cross in person. I would love to sit down with you over a cup of tea or perhaps a nice glass of a single malt scotch and talk more about our times and how things are going in our daily lives. But alas, that cannot be. So we shall savor these moments each Friday. And until next Friday, I bid you adieu.